Hey guys, it's Guru Tim. Um, this topic is going to be integrity. Oh, I have nothing on the notes here for integrity, so prepare, be prepared to be ranted on. Um, so integrity. I feel like a lot of people don't even know what this word means anymore, or why use it. Um, and that's kind of a it's not a horrible thought to deal with. I mean, it's just can you imagine a world with no integrity for those for those of you who actually know what integrity is? Let me actually pull up the definition here for you guys since I'm on a rant. But I feel like this is something that we need to talk about. Because I walk around the world being a sensitive, so I pick up a lot of other different views. And then when I think about integrity, it's like, oh yeah, integrity still exists, doesn't it? We should be doing that, shouldn't we? And I feel like a lot of people just like as soon as they get out of people's, or they're by themselves, or they think that they're they're hidden inside their own little selves. They think, oh, I can get away with everything inside here, and then which is really not the case. Um, Although integrity is a pretty hard subject to talk about, if you have no honor, then odds are you have no integrity either. Um, okay, here's what integrity is. The first definition is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. And number two is the state of being whole and undivided. Oh, I like that one. Of being whole and undivided. Okay, as we know, human duality, I mean, humans have this little duality thing where they may think one thing and say another thing, or say something and mean another thing, and we have this dualities that go unchecked. I don't know where this duality started from. I really don't. You might be able to talk to somebody else about that. I don't know this duality. I usually stay true, like I always had one voice, unless of course I was dealing with another duality in which I had to react in a duality fashion, or else it would just been a miscommunication at that point because I I'd just been talking in one voice, and they're like, "Really? You feel that way?" And then, because they're not, it's weird. It's like they're not open to that, They're not open to being one with yourself, and so I feel like it's protection for yourself, hiding inside these dualities, so that people don't see the true you or something. I don't know. Never got it. I've always been like a take me or leave me kind of guy, so um, it got me into a lot of trouble when I was little. But we're talking about integrity right now, and this is actually where my integrity kind of spawned. Um, Before I went to the Navy, I was a rebel. Even while going to A school and school and stuff, I was like, you can't teach me shit. I'll find my own knowledge, and I've always been that way. So, I mean, I didn't really learn integrity till I was getting out of the Navy, and then I was like, okay, so I was doing right by I'm refusing all this bad knowledge, but what I'm doing is causing like a big old ruckus. It was different for me. I'm like in a completely different situation. Please understand. You probably won't understand. Okay. Um, I was as soon as I left, I felt like it was more about integrity for me at that point, about staying true to God, and I felt like I was in that position because uh, I wasn't staying true to myself as well. I was just kind of going with the flow. I didn't know what was going on. My mind's always vacant. So I was just like, okay, I'll just follow this guy. Following society, I guess, is the best way to put it. And then it's not until I stayed true to myself, which is another form of integrity, that I kind of started waking up Somebody saying, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Being whole and being undivided. Excuse me, sorry. See, they're fighting it. They're listening, and they're fighting it from the other room. But integrity is about being whole and undivided. That's why I like that second one. It's not just about um, moral uprightness. It's about being one with everything. That is the integrity. That is the point of integrity. Is to get you to that point to where you're one with everything. There's no more dualities. Okay, you're fine being yourself. There's no fear of being open up and expressing yourself. Therefore, when you're integrity, you are at peace with not only yourself, everything that is around you, because you know for a fact if because let's bring this back a little bit. We're talking about your perception is reality, right? So if we live a life of pure integrity, what does that expand out? Just nothing but pure integrity, right? Pure white carbon is what it would look like in a sense of this world, and so you start to be peaceful and harmonic with everything because your integrity kind of demands it in a way. You have to be one. You have to be whole. Then you start looking at stuff like, yeah, after opening my eyes about why you shouldn't kill a bug, you shouldn't add energy to the idea of suffering, no matter where you go. And then I always thought like the Buddhist monks were like, dude, it's a bug. Get out of your reality. There's nothing wrong with that. And then it's not until recently that I understood through integrity, um, suffering in any cause should not be a part of your reality. If you create suffering, you will feel a little bit of suffering. Um, so that's just kind of how it goes. And if you I feel a lot of people saying that they were placed inside a situation where they had to create suffering, or it was their own suffering, or something like that, or something would happen to them. I don't know. They're put inside a situation where they were forced to make somebody suffer. Wow, that's just a really low vibe. You always have a choice. First of all, don't fool me with that shit. Get that shit out of here. You have the chance. It's all in your power to control your own reality. We've all known this. So why are you making excuses saying that I had to do this? No, you didn't. No, you did not. I found a cockroach on my bed the other day, and like I wanted to kill that motherfucker, but if I did, um, knowing what I know now, it would have just been mental suffering, and then it would have been karmic suffering later. So for me, because karma loves me, man. Can't get away from it. But so what I ended up doing was taking the bug outside, and to me, even right now, this feels kind of ridiculous. Like I feel like it's gonna go back, but that's just a fear that we need to work with. It's about integrity. Just talk about integrity in a more down to earth, not so high vibe. Integrity. I see this friend favor stuff working. Like, oh, I'll do something for you if you do something for me. When in all essence, if you had integrity, that shit would never be there. Because what happens when you run out of favors? Then you're fucked. It's not really a friend. You kind of just like an acquaintance of some sort. Friends should be able to be there for you no matter what. Now, how am I feeling resistance for that? See, I got my own shit I need to work out. I keep saying it, but excuse my testing. I do that a lot. Integrity. So if you're working with friendship on integrity, you should be able to do stuff for them no matter what. You should always be able to meet inside the middle. Meet inside the middle. Again, I'm not the only one inside this house, so if I kind of fall off track like that, just give me a second. I think integrity is important for people to remember that other people are not there to be used and played with. Sorry, I'm trying to just transmute all this stuff at the same time while I'm trying to do this. Okay. So, working with integrity and why it is so crucial. People don't think that integrity serves them. People think that integrity just serves other people. You know, if I don't do um, what is morally just, even though I feel like I don't know. Let's put yourself into a situation where you feel like you need to make somebody pay or something for something that they might have done. The problem with that is if you make them pay, we all know this whole little system of make them suffer or make them pay or oh you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you. It's called revenge. Is what it's called. But we like to call like beings over here in this little area called the make them pay system where somebody does some things that you feel is negative to you, then they feel I don't know what reasoning. I'm still struggling. I'm trying to find this reasoning of making somebody else pay for you taking in something as negative. And for me, that right there is forget my French, complete and utter bullshit. That is almost demonic. Like you're making people suffer for your own enjoyment because you took it in as negative. You failed to receive as positive, so now you're making somebody else feel negatively for what they did. Your failure to comprehend that you should have paid for, now you're making somebody else pay. And then you have karmic results that will screw you. Just that's just how it is. I'm not wishing anybody no illness. I'm just saying karma is real. It is the checks and balances. It is God trying to teach you what you're doing wrong. Um, trust me, I know that for a fact. But it is God trying to teach you what you're doing wrong. That's where integrity comes into play. You can't just go, oh, this guy hurt me. Oh, I'm gonna go kill his whole family or some shit. You know, I'm blowing that out way out of proportion. Let's say this guy hurt me, right? So I'm gonna set him up to where next time he needs help, I'm just saying no. You know, like that's a very wrong thing to do because what if this guy hurts you? Was a misconception, which it usually is. Only 99.99% of the time is a misconception. So we live in a world with positive intentions go bad through misconceptions. That's the only reason why you want to know the cause of suffering right there. Bam, misconceptions, congratulations, and the non-use of integrity. So that's kind of where we go. Yeah, you will get me riled up about this because I feel people should be stronger at the heart than what they are now, and allowing themselves to bow down to such low vibe systems like this and make people pay. Would you want to do that? Really? And then their reasoning is they make me pay already anyways, so? And people make me pay all the damn time. I'm not gonna make them pay. Sometimes I make them pay just to have them lessons, you know. They need to wake themselves up. So I will be the one to slap them slightly, and I will take the karmic result for that. As a man, own up to it. It's called integrity. But they will not learn unless I would have done it that way because some people are living inside a negative mind that I have to drop down to the level for a little bit and then smack them and then I'll bring them back up. You know, it's not the way you're supposed to do it. But I'm talking about overdrive, kids. I'm talking about lessons on lessons. But yes, that was a Blessings reference. Awesome song. The point is, you're supposed to be the bigger man and understand it. You're supposed to, and yes, it will get tiring because I do this a lot. I take in a lot of negative energy, especially being hypersensitive. Can you imagine dualities like I talked about? What people think and then what they say. Like a lot of people will think really bad thoughts and then say nice things, you know, just to avoid the hurt or confusion. Um, and that is really the way you kind of want to work with it. If you can't understand why a person is doing something, like for me, I feel a lot of people say I'm condescending, I'm a fucking jerk, or you know, I might even brush off as egotistical because I want this place to be at a higher vibe, and I won't stop till it gets there. Um, so that is egotistical because that is a want or need I'm trying to gain, and sometimes I push a little too hard for other people, and being hypersensitive, I'm being able to understand that. So that does work with integrity, but you guys have to just have faith that they're not trying to screw you when they do something. So you just have to be bigger, suck it up, uh, try to make it positive, try to understand it, try to find the reason why they did that. That's where the judgment comes into play. The first video, if you haven't looked at that, please do. And then once you get rid of a lot of judgment, then it's a lot easier to be a little bit stronger and be work with integrity. I guess I want to bring integrity back in because that's the topic. Although everything I was talking about, being the bigger person, is integrity in itself, for those down to earth people, they need to hear it to relate it back to what I'm saying. So just bear with me. I have to connect all the thoughts for them. Um, Being the bigger person is, in fact, the image of integrity. And you're not only being the bigger person, you're being the bigger person and creating a more peaceful environment around you. You're doing it in a positive way, not being the bigger person and then making them pay for it. That that's not even being a big person at all. It's actually going the exact opposite. You're making yourself tiny by doing that because you're not understanding. You're not allowing yourself. You're restricting your true self, and your true self would never really do that to anybody. Um, that's why I feel so disgusted by people who don't have integrity. You know, And usually it's from those people who are way high up, who feel like they just, or not like way high vibe, but people who start themselves from a higher class in the economy. And they feel that everything should be done for them. And if not, then I need to make people pay because I deserve it. It should be there right now. And that's not really a good mentality you want to throw out there. Because even though you're at the higher class, you're still in a human body. You're sort of part of us. We go to the same grave. We came from the same earth. We will be buried in the same earth. We will all die at one point. Not at the same time, but we all die suddenly. All life will end. That is a blessing and a curse within itself. Only a curse for if you're low vibe. It's a blessing for us high vibers. But what was I gonna say? I'm going off on a tangent here. People who are up there usually don't have a lot of integrity because they feel like they deserve a lot of everything. And then why should they be the bigger person? They already feel like they are the bigger person. Whatever they do is okay, or they deserve to be able to do it, or like if God rejects them something, then they need to make people pay because they don't have it inside their lives. And usually, I thought that God inside there because the people who are that egotistical, they forget that there is a higher being up there that does check you. That is why you're not getting all the stuff you want, because you're coming at the wrong fucking way. And he will let you know that's not the way we work on here. And then they fail to comprehend and fail and just throw themselves inside this abuse, you know. And instead of saying, "Hey, sucking it up, being the bigger person, and say, what's wrong with me?" And when I say being the bigger person, it usually means just sucking in the control of your, not the sucking in any energy. Okay, that's misconception. If you ever thought that, it's about addressing the fact that you are in control of this universe, and that is not the way that you want people to interact. And I don't want to go over 20 minutes because then I'll feel like I'm ranting, and you guys don't want to watch a 20-minute video. So I hope this helps you with integrity, and remember to stay honorful. Come on, that's where the strong come from. It's from the honor. Other than that, I'll be putting out another introductory in just a couple seconds. We went a little bit over. That's okay. Um, Introductory video about me and how I got to be in the place that I am. Um, uh, so it's gonna be a whole video about nothing. No, just kidding. Stay tuned. I'll throw some more down to earth out there before I start throwing any high vibes at you, because I want to work with that first. Those are big issues that we really need to change, like judgment and integrity, 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 integrity. All right, guys. Stay tuned. Namaste.